Everyone looks like they're clean away, and of course we won't go total lights out till the boys come up on the start finish, but we're about to get ready here for round 12 of the Thursday Night Lights Rubbing Racing Series, and they're away, and it looks like Luke got a hell of a start from there. He really did. P2 really served him well, and he looks like he's driven right around the outside of Demoby. Of course, we're going to go a little bit further back and see if the boys behave into turn 1. It looks like they just about did. Bit of argy-bargy going on there. Kembo's been shuffled out a little wide. We'll have a little bit further back. Looks like the console and Troll touching a little bit back there, and Smithy gets it wrong on the brakes. Cameras are absolutely shocking here. Looks like Tuggy, Phil and Tro all banging into one another. No, Tro well away with it, so it's Grey Warrior on the side of Tuggy Bear. Looks like Phil's just had to come out of it. We'll go a bit further up, but Grey Warrior and Tuggy Bear side by side. Back with the Moby, and it looks like he's not letting Luke get away. Andy following up, so Andy's jumped up a spot there, and Uber into P4, so Uber making plenty of places up at the start of this race, catching people out a little bit maybe, looking back, Amber Chewy, got Grey Warrior coming into the same section of track, Smithy side by side, so what's Ken up to? Ken now in the draft of that BMW M6 will go inside his cockpit view and see what he's seeing. Super close. It looks like Uber takes the middle of the track. Is he going to hold the inside? He is. We're going to have to go trackside to even get a look at these two. It's BMW versus Corvette into the bus stop. Who's got the bigger balls here? It looks like Uber just about conceded that place. Knew that too wide into that corner wasn't going to work. Demoby, what's happening with him? Luke got such a jump there. Bomb with hard with Tucky Bay. Pushes out very wide through the bus stop. Looks like we've got a bit of side-by-side action. We've got Scotty and the console side-by-side. Do want to keep the leader, but Andy up to P2 at the minute. And look at these side-by-side. Demoby. Andy holding the inside line, and just behind them it's Kembo trying to go 3 wide of him. This is crazy. It looks like Andy's broke super early into turn 1, being a little conservative there. Just about managing to keep it out the back of Ken. Good driving, mate. Good driving. Smithy now looking up the side, and it looks like Tro's just lost out to the Grey Warrior, so the Grey Warrior making up plenty of spots here, and it looks like the console's up got his ass too, so it's the console versus the Rain Man himself, the wet weather specialist, the man, the myth, the legend that is. Good line coming out that corner, back with our leaders, Andy P4, Ken P3. Oh, onto the brakes, looks like Uber just about managing to keep it off the back end of that black Corvette there, and Kembo with a horrible drive out that corner is going to have to tuck back behind that M6. Take a little look further back, so I do want to see what the console's up to. Smithy, surprisingly, still round the back there, but holding on to a holding on relatively close to the back end of him. What's Kembo up to? Into the draft of Uber again. Of course, Ken did make this move before. Very close, but the boys now on the bank in 2 wide. Ken up high, the Flying Dutchman down low. Ken gets a good draft off the turn there, turn 7, into the bus stop. On to the brakes now. Our American driver from Pennsylvania, very good there. We're about to take it a little bit more curve. What's the console up to? All these boys super close. What a line by the console through there. We'll go trackside. We're going to have to go trackside. I think they're too wide at the minute. And Scotty assing to tuck back up behind the Alex there. And just a bit further back, we've got Tuggy Bear. Grey Warrior, I believe, is with him. He is. And on the edge in there, who is that on the back? So that is Tuggy Bear, Grey Warrior, and I think Tro. It is. They're going to be nearly 3 wide. Someone's on the limiter there between them. Into the draft. We'll keep on board with these boys as they come into turn 1. Heavy on the brakes now. Oh, behind Tuggy Bear gets it wrong. Tro manages to come around Smithy. Yellow flag into turn 1, buddy. Watch yourself, mate. Just about managing to keep it going. Good driving by Tuggy Bear there, not to keep his foot down in it. Looks like we've got a bit of racing up front. Kembo and Andy. Looks like Luke's managed to pull that 1 second gap. So Disco Face in the track, proving right. And the sun already coming down here. Drivers now with the lights on. Ken, within a couple attempts of Andy, will go on board of him. Through turn 5. Tricky braking zone into turn 6. Do not want to put all 4s out on the right hand side. It's easily done, and you can light up the back end of the car coming out of here and lose the back end. Bit further back, have we got racing going on? Looks like Scotty very deep into the corner there. Smithy trying to pull up onto the back of Grey Warrior. Smithy into P11 now. Coming through turn 6. Does Smithy keep it on the right direction? He does. Good line. Scotty losing a little touch with Alex there, but nothing to be majorly concerned about. Back with the racing that's going on. Andy having to cover the inside line there at the bus stop. Looks like Ken much tighter through the bus stop. Good exit as well, so he'll have to get into the draft. But it looks like he's going to try to drive around the outside him. This is going to be a move and a half. It does look like Andy's still got the position on track at the minute. Is Ken going to tuck up behind him? He isn't, you know. He's going to try to draft the side of him. This is definitely putting a lot of faith into one another as they come up the banking on turn 12 again. 31-degree banking. It looks like Ken's just about got the position, so it's going to be done through the banking. Andy back up into the draft. Total trust in one another at this point. Ken absolutely immense onto the brakes. Gets it stopped for the corner. He does indeed. We're going on board with Uber. Amber Chewy in front of him. Amber Chewy doing a hell of a job at the minute. Very, very impressive. And it looks like Scotty's very close to the console back there. So, Uber at the minute. Chasing down our new driver for the league. Had a couple with us, and it's fantastic to see him out there doing well. Pulling running P5. Scotty and the console now also coming out of the International Horseshoe through turn 4. Slight clink to the left into turn 5. Oh, I thought, you know, Scotty was going to have a dive bomb there. He did show him the inside. These boys now side by side coming out of the turn 5 into turn 6. Looks like Alex is going to hold the inside line. Fantastic driving by Scotty. Rain Man there to come off the gas. Providing any accidents there. We'll see what his GT40 is like on the banking section. This is where the GT40 should come into the on. Luke currently a 143 flat. Last time around, Demobi on 147, so must have had a real bad lap. He's only 2 seconds behind that, or 1.5. Going to be pedantic about it. Does look like the console's got that 911 set up very, very well. And it looks like Andy and Ken's managed to find a way through, and Andy's had to come off the throttle there. Is that going to allow Amber Chewy and Uber to catch up? It has, and it looks like Amber Chewy's about to go for a move. We're going to have to go trackside. Amber Chewy's going to drive around the man from Watford. He's going to pull off back in front. He is, so he's got that position done. Andy's going to try and tuck up in the draft too. He's got to come across to the start finish up to turn 12. Andy pulls out the draft. Amber Chewy must see him on the inside. He does. Andy gets the position back, but again, Andy's slightly tentative on the brakes into turn 1. Here we go. A lot better this time, and for his troubles there, it looks like Uber got into Amber Chewy a little bit, missed his braking zone, so not the fantastic of the music. And then Uber again with the side, so Uber definitely on a mission tonight, needs to be careful making these positions back up. Doesn't, of course, want to make any contact at the minute, and Amber Chewy obviously won't be too happy with that manoeuvre, but here we go. It does look for all the world that Uber's actually let Amber Chewy go back through. Fantastic driving by the boys to marshal themselves in this kind of environment. All you want to do is put your foot down. The Moby seems to have caught right up with Luke. We're going in the cockpit view. Luke may be struggling with the temperatures coming down a little bit, trying to get a feel for the car. We'll stick it on board with Demobi though, as he's trying to chase the Pro Esports driver down. See what the top end like on Demobi's Corvette. Thank you again for leaving the comments on the YouTube channel. Again, join us. We've got the link in the description. Come and get involved in the league racing. Come on Uber, you can do it. Come on the console from Big Al, Simon Krause. Come on console. Love that top-down camera. It's a brilliant one. Luke with a fantastic drive out that section of track. Back with Uber now. Where is he on track? Still with Amber Chewy in his sights. Andy just about managing to pull a little bit of breathing room out the boys. What's Scotty up to? So close to the console. It's the Rain Man versus the league moderator, and what a drive that the 911's got out of that corner. It's going to be very difficult for Scotty to try and make that up. Back with the Flying Dutchman, the man, the myth, the legend, with Amber Chewy and Andy in front. Very close to one another, but Demobi within 4 attempts. Bit of a concertina effect into turn 1 now. Through the slight kinks at his 2. Good line. Now into the International Horseshoe. Turn 3. It's a tricky one this, so cold tyres, the back end just like to kick out. Luke takes a wider line so he could be a lot faster out, but Demobi for the time being keeping Luke honest, which is good to see. What's Uber up to? Sure what happened. P4 at the minute. And Amber Chewy is losing a bit of ground here, must have made a mistake, and Kembo's through too. I'm not sure what's going on. Kembo goes very wide into the International Horseshoe though. Back with Demobi. Luke just about pulling some ground through that section of track, so I apologise about the camera angles. What's Uber up to? Still with Andy in his sights, and this is over a podium spot, ladies and gentlemen. Half the race distance gone. Uber and Andy, and for some effect, the console and Scotty are ready to pick up any pieces too, so we have a fight on for our podium spots, ladies and gentlemen. On board with Demobi, a German driver. Keeping Luke again honest. We're coming into the bus stop now. Let's see what his braking zone's like. Super stable. Luke misjudges his braking zone. He misjudges it massively. I think that is going to be Demobi through on the outside. Does look for all the world it will be unless he has a slowdown. So Demobi's going to take P1. We'll stick with the lead racing going on at the minute. Coming round the banking. Go on board with Luke. Into the draft now of that Corvette. You can just make out how bumpy this track is. We are coming across the line for lap 7. Into the banking now. Again, it's a 31-degree banking. Turn 12 into the tricky braking zone. There is one. Will Demobi cover the line? Does push out wide there, so Luke possibly could have a sniff at him. If he does that manoeuvre again, Luke having to counter steer there. Where's the racing going on? Is Uber any closer to Andy? About stalemate as you were. Amber Chewy though, with Scotty in his sights. Scotty in the console all the while very close to one another too, but the console with a little bit of breathing room. What's Andy up to? We've got a yellow flag in turn 1, yellow flag in turn 1, but he's going again, yellow flag in turn 1. That is Uber the Flying Dutchman up into a podium spot, and with a healthy couple of seconds over it. I know Smurfy 51 is going to be massively happy about that. We've got Disco Madisca first. Come on Luke, go get him. Luke trying with all his might there, it's only 2 tenths behind. This is going to be epic. We're going to have a cockpit view. Not letting him go at all as they come onto the banking out of turn 6. Again, turn 6, a very, very tricky braking zone. I do want to have a quick look back here, what's going on with the boys. Very close to one another, but back with the lead. Trackside with Demobi. One of the favourites here at Rubbins Racing, has been with us since season 1. Very experienced racer, but he has a man all over the arse end of him that will not leave him alone. But again, we saw a mistake from Luke coming into the bus stop. Luke, again, it's the only fault for me would be setting qualifying laps every single time. Sometimes it is a bit of a hindrance to his race. Oh, and it looks like, what's that? Demobi must have had a slowdown. So Luke back through to P1. What's Scotty up to? All these boys with a little bit of a gap between them. It looks like Ken got very, very close to Amber Chewy there and had to correct his line. So doing well not to avoid a big pile up. We can be having a go. No, a bit too far out. Demobi now 6 tenths out. We've got some traffic at the back there, and I think that is DJ Phil. It is DJ Phil coming right out the way for the leaders. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that big time. Shows good awareness there from our drivers to come out the way of the race leaders. Down to 13 drivers at the minute, so stick with us on YouTube. We'll get that sorted out. At the minute, Luke is holding P1 for Demobi. Demobi's not letting him get away. What's Andy up to? Managing to nail turn 1, maybe a little bit in the inside. He has Uber in his sight, so I think Uber may have made a mistake last time around, though the lap time wouldn't have said it. I think Andy's just put in a good lap, really. So Andy found a fight with Uber over the last podium spot. It's Ken up to Ken now with Scotty, the rain man himself, in his sights. We're going to stick on board with our man from Pennsylvania here as he comes out the International Horseshoe. Has to come off the gas into the kink that is turn 4. Coming off the gas again into turn 5. See if we can get a run. Scotty with the car correcting itself through that section of track. Good driving. We have P7 and P6 all in close proximity. The console just ahead of them. Demobi now within 7th, 4 tenths into the bus stop. It's really difficult following a car that closely. You lose all sorts of downforce from the car in front. But the Demobi making it look easy. But Luke with a hell of a drive coming off the bus stop, and it looks like Ken's going to have a go. Look at the closing speed of the Corvette there. Trackside, we have 2 wide coming off the bank into turn 7, into turn 8, 9 and 10. There is the bus stop. It looks like Phil Green's come right out the way there. It's fantastic to see again the awareness of the drivers on track. Ken, very sideways. Has he managed to keep it? He hasn't. So we've got a yellow flag coming out of the bus stop. Yellow flag coming out the bus stop. Does Amber Chewy see him? I think he does too. Where's Troy and all this? Just about coming around. Does Ken get going again? He's going to lose a whole bunch of spots. Sniffy through. Ken is going again. Where's Tucky too far away? So Ken's going to go again. Trackside now, ladies and gentlemen. On board with the Rain Man, Scotty, Linsford. coming around the famous banking here at turn 12. Back with Luke though. Demobi's taking P1 again. They're going to have to stick with the leaders while we're seeing all this fight out. It looks like Luke goes very wide out of turn 2. Just about managing to correct it. He's always good out the international horseshoe. We'll go cockpit view. Nah, wrong bit of track. We were coming out of turn 5 there into turn 6. A difficult one, but it seems to get a good run out of it. We are 9 laps down, ladies and gentlemen, with only 3 attempts between the leaders. It's like Scotty was super close there. We had the timings coming up with Alex and Scotty being a lot closer than they actually are. There's at least 7 attempts in that. It's showing me the same lap time now. On board with Luke. Into the draft of Demobi in front, coming up on the bus stop. He's usually pretty good on the exit here, so giving a little bit of room to Demobi in front. He's got plenty of room to carry that speed through. Averaging around 105, 110 mile per hour. Closing him up a little bit. We'll take a look further back. Is Andy catching Uber up? That's the gap. Over a second to P3, a podium spot. Last one of the night. Back with our race leaders. Fantastic shot of them coming round the banking of 12. Thank you, Disco Disco first. Thank you, Smurfy51, Big Al, Simon Cross, Silver Fox. Thank you for your comments. Luke and Demobi showing everyone how it's done out of turn 1. Bit further back though, Andy still trying to chase down the Flying Dutchman. Looks like he's got that car very well set up. Let's look at this closing speed here. Look at that. You can physically see him catching him round the banking. But this is where it's been a bit of a ball ache. Into the braking zone now. On board with Uber. Both about keep it right. You can see Andy there just in the background. That's what the gap is at the minute. But Luke even closer to Demobi. Through turn 5. Both of them on the racing line. Luke not really giving Demobi a look yet. But knows he's quick out this section of track. And looks like Luke gets super sideways and has to correct the car. Let's have a look what that gap looks like. A little bit of a gap. Let's have a look if Andy's closing it up again. Uber, you've got to hold your hat off to the man, the Dutchman there. He's driving a fantastic race so far. So, just to give you guys on YouTube the rundown, we have Demobi P1, Luke P2. We've got Uber P3 holding the final podium spot of the night. Then we have Andy, the man from Watford, P4. The console made up all sorts of positions. I believe he was outside the top 10 maybe. Anyway, P5. With a good 2 seconds on Scotty behind him in the GT40. Then we have Amaturi, the Val racer tonight, who's driven pretty well, I'd say. He's not driven too bad. Back a little way from him, we're going board with him. Smith. You could just about make out Amaturi in front, so not too much in it between those two. Then we have Tro in the original GT colours there. Fantastic livery car. Tuggy Bear's going to bring up the final spots then. It does look like a driver's come out the way. Yep, it's Phil again coming out the way. Good driving. Ken, after his mistake in P11, we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Then Grey Warrior. Looks like he's having a tough one. He's got half of a GT40 left. What's happening up front? Because Luke has dropped 3.5 seconds to Demobi. That's a big gap to leave someone like Demobi. Demobi, very much capable of running a second or two a lap quicker. Last time around, Luke 1:46, so maybe made a mistake somewhere in the lap that we missed. Uber, though, with a struggling Andy behind him. He's pulled 2 seconds on him that time around. Last time around, he was a full second quicker, but Andy's struggling to turn 1, it would seem. 2 minutes to go. Anything can happen between the boys. GG Demobi, unlucky Luke. It does look that way, but this is racing, guys. Anything can happen. You'd be a fool to think this is how they're going to finish. Tuggy Bear holding on to a top 10 position, and he's got a good 5 seconds on our American driver, so looks like they might be done and dusted. On board with Luke. Can we see Demobi in front? You could just about make him out with no headlights on at the minute. The brake lights come on there into the bus stop. We'll check out the lap times next time around, see if anything can be done with it, but given the sort of lap, I think this will be the last one. So we're going to lap 12. Looks like we're going to have a 24 lap feature race that will be throwing up some new elements. There will be rain. But it looks like Demobi's pulled another 5/10 that lap. The gap is now 4 seconds. Where's Andy in all this? We'll go in the cockpit cam. That is the last fightable position in my eyes. It's still a 2-second gap between them. Uber gets a little wide coming out there, but so does Andy as well. It's difficult to make up these positions there. 4 seconds behind is the console, who's having his own little private race, and Scotty not too far behind him. So all the boys may be spread out on track, but cannot afford to make a mistake. Smithy very close to Amber Chewy now. You can definitely see how much ground Smithy's making up there. The Scunthorpe driver doing a hell of a job. Looks like Ken's pulling up on the back of Tuggy Bear. He is fantastic. So Ken within a second of Tuggy Bear. This is for final getting in the top 10 position. This would mean, well, the other leagues, that it'd be a massive jump in points for a top 10 position. Again, that's the correct steering again, and it's round. We got a yellow flag coming out the bus stop, but nobody's that close at the minute. We'll go on board with Andy. This is it. This is for the last lap. And Luke managing to pull 4 attempts that time around, but they will be coming around the final banking now. I just want to check with Andy and Uber. That gap. Uber, our Flying Dutchman, doing a hell of a job so far. If he manages to hold on to this podium, he'll have driven a fantastic race. Demobi just about coming up onto the bus stop. Now got the lights on, makes that a little easier. Is that Uber made a mistake? Concertina effect coming through turn 5 and 6. Be interesting to see if Andy can keep his foot in it, make him honest. The gap is not big at all, but I'm keeping on board with Demobi. He looks like he's got another slowdown. He's going to have to be careful, because Luke's coming up on him with a hell of a rate of knots. If you don't want to lose that first place position, let's have a look at Luke, in fact. A bit too far away. I think Demobi's found it just about right. So, is Demobi about to come round for the first nightlight sprint race, round 12 of the Daytona National Speedway, and take home P1, which would mean he's at the back for the feature race. He is going to take home P1. Demobi, P1. Well, no, Demobi, P2 after the fucking about. So Luke, P1, he managing to take it home. And Disco, you were about right, buddy. Demobi, not sure what's going on. Maybe a time penalty. 4 seconds, it was indeed. Ubar's going to bring home P3, the final podium spot of the night. And a valiant effort by Andy in the end to try and catch up, I think. But Ubar's going to bring it across the line for the last podium spot of the night. P3 for the Flying Dutchman. P4 for a man from Watford. Oh no, Uber demoted. He had a time penalty. Didn't see that one again. Uber falling, suffering from the time penalties. So a man from Watford is going to take over the position. The console P5, Scotty P6, and in the background Smithy and Amber Chewy. Smithy just about keeping on, I think. Nope, he must have had a time penalty, and he did. It knocks him back down very close for the boys there. So Amber Chewy P7, Smithy P8, Tro coming home in P9 there. Good driving by him. Tuggy Bear, is he going to hold on? He is. He's got a good, comfortable position there as he's coming around the final embankment for the sprint race. Again, stick with us on the YouTube channel as we get the feature race all sorted out. It's going to be double the laps. It's going to be reverse grid race. It's going to be epic. Well done, Tuggy Bear. Is Grey Warrior going to have time to finish it? 70 seconds? We shall see. I'm not too sure about it though. If he keeps his foot down, he probably will. But some fantastic battles going on there. Uber bringing it home. Was in a provisional third position, but his time penalty, ladies and gentlemen, with 4 seconds has put him back into P4. So he misses out on the top steps again through a time penalty. Where's Grey Warrior on track? Just about going to bring it home in P11. Well done, buddy. Good driving. Ken, nope. I think that's going to be it for tonight. So, guys, Luke Bennett, Demobi, Andy, Uber, the console, Scotty, Amber Chewy, all the boys at the back. Smithy giving Amber Chewy a good race towards the end of there. Tro, Tuggy Bear, all these guys are going to be at the front. So, let me just sort on that. Yep, you're right, Disco. Luke, very much so, taking home the P1 race. You did predict that, so nice going there. We'll have to get you in sometime to do the race results. Absolutely, spot on, well done, very impressive. Good first race of the night. This one's going to be a little different though, ladies and gentlemen. We have some rain coming their way. It's going to dry out a lot quicker than the other races that we've been involved in, as we have 3 weather slots for it. So we're going to throw up a few different elements for our drivers tonight. But I do want to congratulate Luke, Demobi and Andy on the podium spot. Uber just missing out there because of his time penalty. The console in the end making up a lot of spots. The Rain Man himself, P6. Amber Chewy, P7th. Smithy in P8 made up a lot of places in the end. Tro P9. Tuggy Bear holds off that last top 10 position. Grey Warrior 11th. Kembo with all sorts of mistakes there. Phil Greed in 13th. We're going to get back to the lobby. Stick with us on the YouTube channel as we sort out the feature race. Of course, it's going to be 25 laps with a formation lap to get all the boys in order. So if I just take a quick picture of this, lads, just bear with me. Those Nightlight Series here at Daytona International Speedway. Located in Florida Beach. This 3.5 mile long track is going to see these boys really go at it. I know there's a lot of interest in a GTE league. And it looks like the boys are going to have the way. 7 people watching, 15 comments. Thank you so much, boys. So now the boys will be all getting up to speed. They'll be all coming out the bus stop here, and we'll all start to form up side by side. So just take a little look back. Yep, Travan's up on the back with Grandad Steve, so that's absolutely perfect. Back with Ken, so now the guys will be side by side. Here we have it. So I've got Ken on the speedometer. All the boys now side by side. And looking back, Smithy, Tron, Amber, Chewy need to be very much closer than that. Scotty too. Thank you very much. There we go. They're catching up. Tron, Smith. Yeah, perfect. So we're checking out Kembo as we're coming off the banking. We are indeed. So once he's come off this banking here, he is then able to dictate what he wants to do. It does look like Phil Green's very loose there. Needs to stay on the left-hand side of the track. So now it's up to Ken when he wants to go, when he wants to start this feature race. We are about to go lights out for the feature race. He's gone. He's gone. We are lights out. We're going, and it looks like he gets a hell of a start there. Is the Grey Warrior managing to do it on the outside? Little look back through the field. I want to go on board, make sure they all make it stopped for the first corner. We're on board with Scotty. Looks like Troper super early and caught Scotty out a little bit. Is Amber Chewy going to go around the outside? It would have been a hell of a move if he managed to do it. We've got someone spat in the middle of the pack. It looks like somebody spat in the middle of the pack. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we get it to come back round again. All the boys having an absolute nightmare into the first corner. What is going on up there? It looks like Scotty's very wide as well. The rain man himself, the wet weather specialist, and he gets sideways coming through that section of the track. Fantastic to see. Ken's still holding P1 though. He has Grey Warrior and Smithy now on the tail end of him. Smithy's gone wide. We have a yellow flag coming into turn 5. Yellow flag coming into turn 5. Gets it going again, and looks like the Moby, Amber Chewy has gone straight on too. A new bar's through. Looks like Grandad Steve's trying to have a look too. Somebody went very sideways there. Got all sorts of action going on. It looks like Smithy losing out there. Coming from P3. Down to the back of the field. He's in 11th with Luke Tuggy Bear up his ass end. So on board with the Grey Warrior P2, hunting down the man from Pennsylvania, the man, the myth, the legend that is Kembo. A bit further back, let's have a look for the field. Let's have a look on board, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic shot here of our reserve. Eval racer tonight. Traven tracing down Grandad Steve, and just a bit in front of him, it does look like Uber. Oh, look at the correction needed there. Looks like Steve's going to go defensive. Oh, is Draven going to try it on the inside into the bus stop? Onto the brakes now. Do the boys see each other? They do. Fantastic driving. Fantastic. Grey Warrior. What a move that was around the outside of the bus stop. Fantastic driving. What a move. Managing to keep it in the right direction, but he's still got Traven all over the arse end of him. What's Luke up to? Luke with a fantastic shot of these boys now. Smithy a bit further blagging back, but on board with Luke as he's chasing down the Welsh man, Scotty. The man from Swansea, the Rainmaster himself, as Luke pulls out of the draft. We're going to go nearly 3 wide coming up the banking out of turn 12 here. We are 3 wide. We're 3 wide. The console in a sandwich almost. He's got the inside line for it though, and I do see Grey Warrior up front there, up front within a second now. Onto the brakes. Looks like Luke pushing very wide. Up bringing it back on the track though, so he has a car at the side of him. Is that the console through? It is the console through. Good line by the console. It looks like Scotty's going to have a great shot of these boys onto the heaven braking zone, which is the international horseshoe. We've got a car spinning round there. Not sure if that was. It's Grandad Steve, so he's going backwards too. Scotty up the ass end of the console. Luke got through in all of that madness there. Ooh, Scotty living dangerously on the curbs. Oh, we're going to have some fantastic shot of these boys coming through. We're on board with Traven, who's got Amber Chewy in front of him, who again is the Eval racer tonight, and it looks like Traven giving him a look. The other boys overshoot by a long way there. We're having a look at that. That would have been a hell of a move by the console if he managed to get round, and it looks like the Grey Warrior's going backwards. It is indeed on board with the Rain Man himself. We're going to have to go trackside to see Luke at the side of him. This will be fantastic. Scotty got a good shot of this. Look at the boys here. We're going to have to go trackside. We've got Scotty and Luke fighting it out, coming up into the bus stop. Looks like Traven and Amber Chewy. The Val racers tonight. I would like to see him, but I want to keep on board with this, and it looks like Scotty's going to try it up the inside. He gives Luke a look there. Looking racy in the rain as always is our Swansea man. Back with Amber Chewy. Lost a little bit of touch there with Traven, but Traven and Amber Chewy doing a hell of a job so far. P6 and P5 respectively. What's getting up to? Not much run time. Absolutely dusted Dermoby at the minute by 3 seconds, but Dermoby obviously from the back of the field, so that's something else, it really is. What's going on with the boys here? We've got Luke and the console side by side. Massive respect shown by the boys. You've got to put a lot of faith in one another to run side by side like that into turn 1. Heavy braking zone. It looks like the console's going to have the inside line for it. Luke tries to hold it around the outside, and just in front of them there, Amber Chewy's getting caught up by his boys too. Luke's trying to hold it around the outside to have the inside for the International Horseshoe, but loses a bit of ground while he tries to do it. Trevor now, Uber struggling for grip a little bit, coming out the International Horseshoe, but wow, what a drive the Flying Dutchman gets out of that corner. It looks like Luke's managed to find a way past the console there. Maybe with a better drive out the corner, I imagine. Trevin very close now to Uber. Go cockpit view. No, we're going to have to go trackside. The side-by-side coming out of turn 5. Side-by-side. Uber's going to have the inside for turn 6. Little squeeze there. A bit further back with Luke and Amber Chewy very close to one another too. Did I get it stopped? Look at the understeer. It's real there. It really, really is. Wow, we've got a sandwich of cars here. We're on board with the console. We cannot see anything as they're coming through the banking in turn 7. Again, the 31-degree banking. Welcome to the 12th running of the first Nightlight Series. Wow, what a shot. We're going to have to go trackside. Amber Chewy getting swamped a little bit, and the console's in the draft of Luke too, so onto the brakes. This is going to be brave. Amber Chewy just coming out of it there, so fantastic to see the boys respecting one another. It looks like the console's got it wrong on the exit. He's going to have to use the wall to go. We're going to have to go trackside. And even that's a bit of a pain in the ass. Amber Chewy on the banking on the left-hand side there. Scotty, the rain man himself, trying around the outside. It's not going to be the easiest of manoeuvres. Looks like that Corvette's set up very, very well. And if I'm looking right, let's have an onboard cockpit view. Yeah, there's still a lot of standing rain on the track. Scotty goes to the inside now. Just can't make that out as they're coming round the banking. Must be all on the inside. And there we go. There's the spray. And Kenbo and Dermoby. What is going on? Into the International Horseshoe now. Dermoby takes P1. Of course, Dermoby unlucky not to win that sprint race. Give Luke a race all the way to the finish. But Luke currently in P6. Trevin all over the arse end of Uber. Fantastic shot of that BMW trying to make it around the International Horseshoe. Uber making it as difficult as possible. The Flying Dutchman holding P4. Can he get away with any penalties tonight? Who's going to be the first guy to come in to pit for tyres? We just don't know at the minute. Bit of a gap there between them. We'll go on Bobby Kembo. We know Dermoby's fast through this section of track, ladies and gentlemen. Good drive off there. Looks like we've got a few issues back there, and Andy P9 struggling to put the power down just a little bit, and it looks like Tucky Bear's very close now to Andy too, so there's fighting throughout the field here. It's difficult to keep on top of it. Looks like Scotty. Look a bit further up there. Is that Luke and Uber? It is. Luke's going to pull out the draft. He's going to have to go high. Uber holds the inside onto the water now. This is going to be a straight drag strip into the bus stop. It's going to be onto the brakes here, but the Flying Dutchman is holding the inside. Looks like he gets a wiggle on, touches almost a puddle there. Luke super late onto the brakes and makes the corner. In the background there may have been a touch with the console. No, Trevin and Uber. So living dangerously are the boys there. Luke into P3. Ken now very close to Dermoby, so not letting him go by any means. But Scotty very close to Trevin too. While we're checking this out, it looks like the console lost a lot of speed as he came through the bus stop. Fantastic shot here. Oh! Trevin onto the banking in the middle, so we've got side-by-side action there. Trevin and the console coming up into turn 12, the banking now. Scotty behind and poaching. You can just make out that red GT40 there. He must have a fantastic shot of him coming into this section of track. Onto the brakes. He's got a 911 sandwich in front of him, and Uber heading that pack up. It looks like Ken just losing a little bit of touch with Dermoby, who's managed to pull a full second. Look at how sideways the console was through that section of track, and Scotty's up the inside. The console living very dangerously. No windscreen wiper on his car, so it's difficult for us to make anything out. The minute we go hood view, that's what he's seeing, ladies and gentlemen. We're on lap 6. We'll have to go trackside into this section of track. Fantastic. We've got 2nd, 6th and 5th all within relatively striking distance of one another. Back here, Smithy. Smithy wide just as we come on board with him. We've got a yellow flag coming into turn 5. Can he keep it going again? What is Green up to? Grey Warrior, sorry, and Phil with their own little private battle at the minute. Looks like Phil doing a good job to hold the line there. This is fighting at the back of the pack, and it's a testament to what rubbing racing is all about. Doesn't matter where you are on track, there's fighting going on. In the cockpit of Alex, the console, right now, in the drafted at GT40. Scotty knows where to place that car to make it as difficult as possible, so he's going to defend the inside line now, can't pull it back up across into the braking zone. It looks like Ubar and Trafford having their own little fight there. This is going to allow Scotty and the likes of the console to pull right up on him. The console managing to find a way around the corner this time though, so that's good on the exit. Scotty must have a fantastic shot of Trafford and Ubar going at it. He does indeed. We'll stick him board with him as they're coming through the banking of turn 12. Fantastic shot. It looks like Console's very loose on the ends. Just about managing to hold it on, but he's going to lose momentum. We're going to have to go trackside. And Scotty's holding it. Someone's on the limiter there, and it looks like it is... Travan's on the limiter. Right, okay, so the top end of that 911 proving difficult. Ubar trying to hang it on the inside. Does the cutback? Does the cutback? Does the Flying Dutchman keep it going? He loses momentum coming off that corner, has to tuck behind him. Looks like Scotty's going to have a fantastic view of these boys coming into the International Horseshoe now. Scotty onto the brakes, careful not to touch Ubar. A little tap there, but you know, rubbing his racing, and there as they were on board with Ubar, the Flying Dutchman, plenty of support. Smurfy 51, go Ubar, go. Disco and save 2 again here, I think. Luke 2 in a row, question mark. Well, Luke P3, Kembo P2, with Kembo no slouch. Fantastic driving. What's Scotty seeing in all this? So Scotty just about making it past the console. They must be side by side. They are coming out of turn 5 into turn 6 now. Wow. Lap 7, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these boys fighting over every spot. Fantastic shot of them all coming through that section of track. The rain definitely making it difficult for them through that section. Look at this. P7, P6, P5 and P4 within a second of one another. Where else do you get this sort of racing? You can get involved. There's a link in the description. Get involved in the Discord channel. You could be out on the track as you see for Boy tonight. We've got league racing throughout the week. Touring Car Tuesday, Thursday Night Light, random car, random track. It looks like parts of the track are actually drying out side by side into the bus stop. That's crazy. It looks like the console's going to try and hang it on the outside, and he does. What a move! What a move! Uber back into the draft though. Wow, that was a hell of a move by the console to held it on the outside through the pit stop, the bus stop, sorry. Scotty's got a fantastic shot of this, the Welshman from Swansea, the Rain Man himself, doing pretty well in a top 10 position, and he's got a possibility of 4th placing. Look at this! On the right hand side of the banking, it looks like Ubar just about coming through. Did they all manage to get it stopped? We're going to have to go trackside. Looks like the console... She's going to try the cutback. He's going to try the cutback. The boys stuck together a little bit. Scotty, little push up the side. Where's Trafford in all this? Trackside. Ubar loses out a little bit. Where is Ubar? He's on the banking. He's on the banking. We have a yellow flag, but he's got going again into the National Horseshoe. So Ubar going to lose touch with these boys a little bit. Scotty, the console, and Trafford giving us a hell of a show tonight. Travan leaving this little pack here. The boys stuck together like glue, and it looks like Grandesty into the pit. Into the pit. Is he going to be the first one to change tyres? I do want to stick with the racing. There's a tyre change there. There is a tyre change there, so we'll have to keep an eye on Grandesty's lap times, see what they're like. Currently at 155, so into... Ooh, who was that? Somebody went sideways. It was the console struggling in turn 6 for a lot of the time, so Scotty now, the only real man at the minute that can fight with Travan in front. Travan having a hell of a feature race, it must be said. If you're racing like this, he's more than welcome to join the Discord League with a proper roll, and Travan gets a little loose coming off the banking there as we come up into the pit stop. We'll go trackside. That GT40 not letting the 911 go at all, and Ubar just about in the background with Alex catching up again. Ubar in a good point scoring position, and Ubar gets so quickly and hits the wall on the outskirts. Is this the console's chance? We'll go cockpit view, we'll watch him catch up with a man through turn 7, the banking, sorry, turn 12 now. Big ass banking, so Alex into the draft. It does look like it's drying out, and we've got haze here, so yeah, we're into the latter part of the weather conditions. We'll take it on board with him, see if there is a dry line forming. It looks to all purposes like it may be time, you know. We'll see what people do here, of course. It was Grandesty who came in first for the tyres. Ooh, the console, and Alex very, very Well, they've definitely got some paint swap between the pair of them. They really have. Umar maintaining that position though, with the front bumper hanging off. Will he go defensive into the horseshoe? He doesn't. And it looks like he's gone super wide again. He's onto the grass there. That's the second time he's done it in succession. So Umar struggling a little bit with the wet tyres on the track. Definitely drying up. So where is the Moby in all this? On board of him. Just coming through the banking now, so he'll be coming up onto the bus stop very shortly. But it looks like we've got more people into the pit. Tuggy Bear into the pit. We'll go trackside. Is that a tyre change? Smithy's into the pit. Smithy might just be going again, though. It does look like he... Nope, coming into his pit stop now. I do want to check what Scotty's up to. Very close on track, but Smithy's going to have a tyre change. It does look like the boys are now on to some soft tyres. We'll get to see how they're going as the lap unfolds. Scotty with Travern in his sights. You can just about make out on this bit of banking, though. It is still a little wet, so the boys need to be very, very careful. But there's definitely a dry line forming here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we wanted to see. The haze will start to clear up. It's proper drying the tyres out a little bit, and a little bit of wet line into the bus stop, so another thing that the drivers need to be cautious about. Kind of he's still into the pit, so I'm not sure what is actually going on there. Scotty still, we're travelling onto his case now. These times will all bunch up, ladies and gentlemen, once they all get themselves into the pit. And Luke's gone into the pit. Luke Bennett, our man from Birmingham, has decided it's time to come in and get those tyres sorted out. Will anybody else follow suit? You can hear some cars going around, so... few guys distracting to go, and it looks like Travern's into the pit too. Okay, and as we see that, the console setting his best lap time, so yeah, I think the tyres coming down. It looks like Smith is just about pulling up onto the back of, who is that? It's Tuggy Bear, so Travern into the pit, Ubar into the pit, definitely a tyre change there. Luke's got going again, tricky pit lane exit, just about managed to keep it on the outside there. I thought for a second he was going to have an issue, real problem there. Andy moving up the orders, but into the pit now, and he's closely followed by somebody there. No, Travern's on his way out, Andy's on his way in, so we'll have to take a look at the lap times. Grey Warrior, we know he's on slicks. Oh, he hits the water. It's going to be tricky for the boys. We've got a yellow flag, turn 6, yellow flag, turn 6, but has managed to keep it going again, which we would like to see. It looks like the console is really pulling up on the back, and you can just see in front where the where Grey Warrior went around. Scotty in front of him, so the console's struggling for a bit of grip back there. Oh, he's gone around. We've got a yellow flag on the banking coming out of turn 6. Yellow flag on the banking. He has to reset. Where is Ambiturian? This just coming onto the banking now. There you go. There's the console. It's very wet up the on top of that banking there, and we know that the console's got the tyres on, I think. Nope, it's full wet, I think. So it's Ambiturian saying that. It must be me how I've gone spread out. So the console going again with Ambiturian in front of him. And we've known from Ambiturian's racing for the last couple of rounds that he's a very accomplished racer when it comes to it. So what is Andy up to? Phil Green in front of him. We'll keep on board with Andy now. He's got the slick tyres on. Good line by Andy there, but it does look like Phil in front is struggling, and it looks like Kembo's into the pit. He is. Got trackside, and that is a tyre change. Will Scotty be in? I think he's in. He looks like he's in on the banking, so does he get it stopped in time? That looked a little quick to me, but he's okay by the sound of it. So look at this. We have Luke after his pit stop. No, he's coming in again. What's going on with Luke? I think he's already been in once, so Luke having a bit of a nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. Discom and Discom first. Might be having to swap it up a little bit. Kembo in the pit. Luke in the pit. It looks like the console also into pit. Look how close the console is at the minute. He's almost on the back end of the other 911 that is Luke. So it's a straight drag strip fight here through the pit stops. Ken going again. Ken out of the pit. So there's some guys here that haven't had the pit stop set up properly, and we're going to have to see how it all unfolds. But at the minute, the Moby holding provisional pole. I don't think he's pitted. And where is he? Just coming off the banking of turn 7 into the bus stop. So where is Ambiturian all this? Yeah, there's definitely a pit stop being made for Demoby. He's got 30 seconds on the guys in front, but at the minute he's the only guy setting 151s along with Ambituri. So the dry tyre, maybe not the ultimate time to get onto it. There are bits of the track. As you see Ken coming up into from the stadium section turn 5. Thank you for the comments, guys. Again, all the boys doing a disco first in the pit stops. There's some boys that'll be sacking the pit crew tonight, watching Travern come through the sketchy turn 4 there. Takes a bit of curb, and the car tries to correct itself. Andy into the pit. Is he going again? I believe. Nope, he's about to come in, so not sure what's going on with the boys. All the pit stops back to front at the minute, but the track is definitely dry. Looks like Granite Steve just about going again in the right direction. Looks like he's been in the walls tonight, but he does have Grey Warrior out in front of him, so it's not all lost for him. There is some fighting to be going on. Look at Luke sideways out of turn 6. We're on board with Scotty now, who's in the draft of that 911. Looks very much like it's dried out. Thank you for the comments, Disco Madisco first and Smurfy51. Here we go. It looked for all intents and purposes like Scotty was going to close right up on Luke there, but Luke must have found an extra gear as they went through the banking, and he always gets a good drive off the bus stop. Into the bus stop now. Amber Chewy into the pit. Scotty with good brakes coming into the bus stop. A decent drive, and we have a problem in the pit lane for Andy SC, the man from Watford, who's not allowing his tyres to be changed. This is crazy. Okay, now we've got Scotty into the draft of Luke in front of him. He's going to try, we'll go on to the pit speedo, 170 mile per hour, and Luke into the pit again, so Luke's having a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. The console now in the draft of Uber in front, and all the front runners here having an absolute bloody mare. Where's Smithy? Smithy now with Phil in his sights. Of course, Phil has run a couple of races with us here. He's usually in the comment section in the YouTube channel, so it's good to see him out on track, but he's got a very fast guy from Scunthorpe behind him, who is not going to let this go. Smith in a top 10 position. He wants that P9. You can feel it with every ounce of him. Is Luke going to give up? He is. So he's only coming through now, so he's going to lose a couple more positions. On board with Smithy into turn 1. What a move! Does he manage to keep it stopped? We're going to have to go trackside. So late on the brakes. What a move around the outside. Balls of steel by our man from Scunthorpe there. Unbelievable driving. Where's Luke in all of this? Just coming out the pit now. They need to be extra careful. Of course, Luke has to drive through the white line to the end of it. Phil just about seeing the man from Birmingham there, but Luke with a fantastic drive off this curb. Of course, Phil and Luke, very different skill gap between them. Phil, a fairly new driver to the league. Luke, a much pro. Demoby now into the pit. Race leader into the pit. He had 30-odd seconds on Kembo in front. And it looks like Luke's going to drive around the inside. And Phil about lets him go, I think. Not sure. Looks like Phil's just going to hold the inside for this corner. So Luke having a little fight here with Phil. Phil getting in the mix, which is good to see. But Luke's going to have the inside. Oh, Luke just about having to come off the gas there. Jesus, that was close. Phil mixing it up with the best in the leagues at the minute. Here we go. Luke on the outside of the banking. Ubar's pretty close, but I do want to stick with these two as the side-by-side coming off the banking. What a drive Luke gets out of it. Now it's going to be onto the brakes, and we know Luke's got onto the brakes. Just about managing to hold on, and we've got Uber side by side with the console. Uber with a great lap last time around. The dry tyres proving dividend now. The boys now 10 seconds a lap quicker than what they were. Good line by Uber and the console through that section of track. It's Grandad Steve catching on to the back of Grey Warrior. He is. So it's fantastic to see, and it's a testament to the Robbins Racing League that Grandad Steve and Grey Warrior, P13 and P12 respectively, still racing between them. Absolutely giving it all. Uber and the console now giving us a show. This is for P5 at the minute. Demoby, Kembo and Traven in a podium spot. This will be absolutely amazing if Traven can hold on, but a long way this race still to go. Another 10 laps at the least. Will these tyres hold out? We'll have to wait and see. On board with the Flying Dutchman now as he's trying to make up time. Scotty, what happened to him there? He's in the sights of Alex and Dubar now. Luke still into the pit. He's having an absolute nightmare. And he's not the only one. We've had Andy complaining on the pit board tonight that his crew refused to give him the dry time. Grey Warrior closing in on Grandad Steve closing in on Grey Warrior. We'll have to keep an eye on that battle as it unfolds. Uber really swings it into the bus stop. Alex with a fantastic drive off there, so it's going to be difficult to Uber to do anything about it, and we've just lost Luke out the session. Pit stops proving an absolute nightmare for the boys. Now we're on board with Grandad Steve and the Grey Warrior. I think we've got a cockpit, but it's all smashed, so we're going to have to go on the roof. Fantastic shot coming through the little kink at 4. And Uber seems to have pulled really on the look at the time instead. It's crazy what they keep telling me, and it's not as close as it should be. But all the times now dropping into the 140s. Definitely dry. Grandad Steve, 3 temps up on his best. And Grey Warrior gets on the water on the inside at 6, and I think both of them have gone around. Nope. Grey Warrior managed to keep it going. Grandad Steve just about going in that direction. So has he got the leaders coming up? He has. And Kembo will be next up. So Grandad Steve comes way out the way onto the banking at the bottom. Fantastic. So having still a little way behind this fight now, but on board with the Flying Dutchman chasing down Alex into turn 5. Difficult one, and Alex looks like he outbroke himself, but Ubar has to recorrect the actual steering of the car, and Alex is right. The console is gone. He's gone. He's gone. Ubar now, 4 temps up on his best. The dry tyre definitely working. Needs to avoid the puddle on the inside there of turn 6. He has Scotty in his sights up front. You could just about make out the red GT40. Where's the other racing on Phil? Phil into the pit. Phil into the pit. We're not even there. His pit crew wasn't even there to service the car. What an amazing sight. That's crazy. Looks like Grey Warrior's going to come through and take a top 10 position. Across the line, he does indeed. Where's Steve in all this? Steve's going to have a top 10 position. Nope, Steve's going to go top 11. He's going to go 11. So Grey Warrior in a top 10 position now. Very, very slidey through turn 1. On board with Demobi. It looks like he's got traffic out in front of him. He has, so who that is, please come out the way, the leaders. Fantastic driving. That was Grey Warrior coming out the way for the leaders there. Obviously, Grey Warrior is going to have Kembo coming up on him soon as well, but a massive gap back to Chavin, so Grey Warrior doing a fantastic job coming out of the way of the leaders. Thank you very much, buddy. Kembo's going to very much appreciate that. It was going to allow him now to try and close up on him. The console definitely lost that position. Ubar through on track, so maybe it was a mistake through the lap. Look at Ubar in the M6. Look at how many times he has to correct the steering coming through that section of track. Fantastic driving there. Still pointing in the right direction. A lot of the guys having some serious problems with the pit stops tonight. We'll go on board with Alex as they come through the International Horseshoe. The slight kink that is turn 4. Scotty still holding P4. Just about make Travin going around the outfield there. So we have Demobi P1, 3.5 seconds up from Kembo. So no easy feat to hold the man from Pennsylvania back there at all. Last time around, Demobi 1/10 up. Oh, look at Ubar gets onto the wet stuff on the side there. Alex has been struggling with this corner all night, managing to nail it this time though, so fantastic. Back with Demobi. A 1:43.9 last time around. There is some traffic up ahead of there, and I'm not too sure what that is. It is Tuggy Bear, but he's a bit far away to do anything about it at the minute. So Tuggy Bear just been very aware that the leaders are coming up. Demobi last time around was 5 temps up on his previous best, so 43.3. Fantastic. Looks like the console really going to give Ubar a go now. Now the track conditions are drying up somewhat. That 911 seems to have found a new lease of breath. It really does. Cockpit view with the console, trying to hunt down the Flying Dutchman, and Grandad Steve, the Grey Warrior, very close on track too. Fantastic. Racing throughout the field. We've had a very unfortunate Ubar tries to get out the draft. Look at how fast that 911 is compared to the M6 on top end now. I've had a few problems with project cars with these split screens tonight. Have to go trackside. Do they both make the corner? Alex pushes a little wide, but managing to bring it back around, and it looks like we've got a little bit of traffic there. Phil, will you come out the way of the leaders, or the next set of traffics that are about to come through? I believe it's Scotty that's going to come up on you. It is indeed. Yep, thank you very much, Phil. Appreciate it, buddy. Good awareness shown by all of the boys there. Amber Chewy just coming into turn 1 now. Okay, Grey Warrior, where is he on track? Look at this. Fantastic. We can go cockpit view with Grey Warrior. He hasn't got half a windscreen missing. Into the banking of turn 7. We're about to shoot it out up into the bus stop here. Grandad Steve tries to come out the draft a little bit, try and give himself a little bit of breathing room. All the boys now very close to one another, and just as I say that, Grandad Steve makes a mistake coming out that section of track, so back with the console, Ubar and Scotty. Hopefully Grandad Steve manages to keep it on the track and keep going again. We've had good to see the boys keep going. There's going to be fighting throughout the field. We're on lap 17 of lap 25. So technically, 24-lap race into the bus stop now. On board with the console. He has Ubar, the Flying Dutchman, in his sights with the Rain Man himself, Scotty, in front of him. Scotty seems to be losing a little bit of time, but I mean, say that last time around he wasn't too far off, only 4 tenths slower than the boys behind him. But the console, the faster of the drivers here at the minute, will have to go trackside into the draft now. It looks like the console's going to have to make a move on Ubar. Ubar's going to force him to go around the outside. Bit of a late manoeuvre there when he come on, but he can no longer come back on the line now, so Alex is going to try around the outside. Onto the limiter. Ubar, as mighty as you like, onto the brakes. That was impressive. And Alex has lost it. We've got a yellow flag in turn 1, yellow flag in turn 1. Big enough gap, though, to not have anything to. So back with Ubar then, who's really hassling the Welshman from Swansea. Again, the wet weather specialist, that is Scotty. Looks like the side-by-side. Nope, Scotty just on track there, so Ubar. Ooh. Coming back on to take the racing line. Very close, very trusting in one another. It's good to see the drivers. You've got to have full faith in the man next to you to be able to do manoeuvres like that. Otherwise, you're about to go around. Andrew Clegg, the pit stop to screen people over. Tell me about it, buddy. We've lost at least 3 people tonight just through the pit stops. On board with Ubar is really up the arse end of Scotty now. We're going to have to go trackside. We don't see either one of them. We are side by side coming out the bank in a 6 and 7. Ubar P4. Is it going to stay that way coming into the bus stop, though? Because Scotty is on the outside. They're so close. They need to keep on either side of the banking. Respect the fact that one another is there. So we're about to come up into the heavy braking zone. Turn 8, 9, 10, and 11. Still side by side, ladies and gentlemen. Still side by side. And Scotty tries to hold it around the inside. He has. Wow, what a move. Back with Ubar, who gets a little squiggly on the exit there. Scotty trying to break the draft. Fantastic driving. Brilliant. Into the draft now. Trying to hunt down Scotty. It's fantastic driving by both of them. On to lap 18. About to start lap 19, I believe. No, these are on the lead lap, actually. Only behind by 30 odd seconds. There's a pit stop in there somewhere, and Scotty sounds like he's on the limiter of that GT40 as they're coming past the start finish. So Ubar very much with our Welsh driver from Swansea in his sights. Different lines with there. Ubar shows in the inside. A little too far off to do anything about it. Fantastic. Still up each other's trumpets. Apparently the game, it's a bug. Yep, the game tonight has not been absolutely brilliant. People disconnected and whatnot. It's been as bad for other people. Project Cars 2 showing again why late night lobby hosting's a bit of a pain in the ass. But a lot of the boys, obviously all 12 of them, managing to keep the wet tyres on. So not everybody suffering with the same issues, unfortunately. But Luke and guys like that were into the pits 3 or 4 times now. As Ubar lost sight of Scotty a little bit. Scotty a little flash of the lights through that section of track. Didn't manage to keep on top of the action there, but Scotty holding a very wide line through there. This is the fight over P4 and 5, ladies and gentlemen. The console not too far behind them. Last time around though, the console 4 seconds off. So yeah, again, make a mistake. Into the bus stop. Oh, sounds like that M6 misses the gear. Scotty pushes wide. Is this going to be Ubar's chance to get in the draft? Doesn't look like at the minute, but if you stick on board here, which we're going to, we'll hear that GT40 on the limiter in a minute. Come on Ubar from Smurfy 51. Ubar trying everything. Here we go, listen to the GT40. That's on the limiter. Fantastic, into turn 1. Great driving by both of these boys out tonight. Should be very proud of them. Lap 19 of lap 25. Thank you everyone on the Facebook, YouTube channels for commenting. And it looks like Scotty's going to push wide. We're going to have to go trackside. That's going to be Ubar through on track, I believe. Look at that. Ubar through. P4. That's going to be a popular move in the chat. Scotty not wanting to give the position up too much. He's going to stick with our Dutch driver from Dreef. Welshman, very established driver in the wet. This GT40 proving a difficult turn to beast. And it looks like Grandad Steve's around again. He's lost the back end of the car coming through turn 6. Fantastic. It looks like Grandad Steve, was it? Has come out the way of the boys. So fantastic driving by both of these guys there. Amber Chewy having a good outing, still in a top 10 position. Back with Scotty though. Looks like Ubar's managed to pull a bit of a gap, a little bit of breathing room, but that GT40 definitely closing back up again. Nice work, Ubar, from the chat. It certainly was a good move. Scotty pulls right up on the braking zone, and Ubar goes very wide through here. This is going to be difficult for both of them, and Scotty has to come off the throttle there to avoid an accident. Fantastic driving by them both. Looks like Grey Warriors, Groddesty's just about letting him go too, and he is. You can just see him there. Good driving by the boys tonight. Been very impressed with Amber Chewy, the likes of Grey Warrior, Grodesty and Phil. Fantastic to have them out on track. What is happening there? I thought it was out of fuel. Yeah, it's let Alex through as well. Good driving. Alex onto the back of these now, so we have a fight over P6, P5 and P4. It's Ubar leading the way at the minute. Second back you've got Scotty. Then you have the console, so we have some fighting going on here, but I do want to have a quick on board with our race leader Demobi. He has an 8-second gap over our American driver from Pennsylvania. Demobi driven absolutely faultless tonight, gave Luke a real good run in the sprint race. He's definitely got the pace in that Corvette. I think one of the few that's not had to make multiple pit stops tonight, and it looks like Scotty again is pretty close to Uber, so these races definitely not over by a long shot. Very close to one another now. Into the tricky braking zone. There is water stood on the inside of that corner, so all the guys need to be hugely aware of that. Onto the banking now. Doing a good job to keep it on the black stuff, pointing in the right direction. Fantastic by the boys. Uber still maintaining that position, P4. It'd be a fantastic position to finish in if he could just about keep it, but he has a very strong GT40 all over the back of him. Into the bus stop. Did they manage to keep it away from each other this time? Uber have a much better line through there, but look at this man come up behind him. He's come to join the action. Currently nearly 3 tenths up on his best. And we have a fight on, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to the console. Scotty and Uber fighting it out between each other. Look how much Scotty's there. He has to pull out the draft. Wow, the console must have a fantastic view of this. Are we going to go 3 wide? This is living dangerously, ladies and gentlemen. Through turn 12, Uber going backwards, P6. Into the braking zone. Do the boys all manage to keep it stopped? Oh, he's done it again. Alex has lost the back end of the car coming through turn 1. We've got a yellow flag in turn 1. Uber all over the back of Scotty now. Shows him the inside a little bit. Scotty defends the corner though. It's the first time I've actually seen Scotty defend the corner, so he's very aware that the Flying Dutchman is behind him. But Scotty driving fantastically tonight. Very much earned his spot on the grid here. It's good to see all the boys come out for the first Nightlight Series, the 12th annual running of the TNL Light Series at the Daytona International Speedway. Wow, Uber, so sideways coming out of turn 5. Welcome to Miami, well, Daytona Beach, Florida. This is it. The 3.5 mile long track was first built in 1959. Now, this track version of it, we're celebrating 60 years of Daytona, ladies and gentlemen. And what better way to honour it than these boys out on track at the minute. Wow! So the console with a lot of work to do within the last 3 laps of this race. Ken dropped another 2 seconds on Demobi last time around. Demobi with a 1:43s. Fantastic driving. Wow, he's going to throw it into the corner. Uber not letting our Welshman go at all. Fantastic. Let's have a quick look what Ken's up to. Ken having a little bit of a lonely one. Big get back to Traven, who is our rival racer tonight, who is currently, ladies and gentlemen, in a podium spot. This will have been unheard of. Having a fantastic outing, but anything can happen within the next 3 laps. Nothing is final, nothing is set in stone. Got a driver coming way out the way there. Maybe Grey Warrior. It was indeed coming out the way of the boys fighting there. Did not want to get involved, and it's good to see Uber showing Scotty everything he can. Late braking on the outside now. Is he going to try the undercut? He does. Slight tap from the boys, but nothing doing. Stay in position. So, as you were, going to have to try again. Through the slight kink. That's turn 4. into turn 5. Tricky one to get right on the exit. Thank you, Andrew Clegg, Smurfy51, Disco Face, for all the comments. Please keep them coming. We'll get back to as many of them as possible as the Flying Dutchman tries to take down the Rain Man himself. Super early onto the brakes there, had to take an earlier line. Look at the drive that the M6 gets out of turn 6, onto the banking now. Into the draft. Let's have a quick speedo, see what sort of speeds the lads are getting up to. It's like Uber's trying to figure a way out. Is he going to go high? Is he going to go low? It looks like Scotty's going to defend the inside to the bus stop. It's going to make it extremely hard for the Flying Dutchman to get around onto the brakes now. Slight compromised line by Scotty there, and it looks like Uber's through. He is indeed. He compromised Scotty a little bit coming into the bus stop, had him off the racing line. That's how you do. But Scotty with plenty of pace in that the GT40. This race by no means done at the minute, but it will give us a quick second to come back through the field and look at our race leader. As smooth as you like coming out of turn 6. Where's Ken? Just entering or coming up on the exit of turn 6 now through the stadium section. Traven having a hell of a race, our rival racer for tonight. Then we're going back and look at this. Into turn 1 as close as you like. GT40 versus BMW M6. Uber looks good in this section of track, and Scotty has to go very, very wide there. We've got a yellow flag in the International Horseshoe, yellow flag in the International Horseshoe, and I think the console's through too. Can Scotty get himself up on the back end of this? So the console into P5. But we've watched the console make mistake after mistake tonight. That 911 proving difficult at the best of times. But Scotty losing a couple of positions there, was fighting over P4. So will that give Uber the room to breathe for the last couple of laps? We have 2 to go, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, nope. He's about to come over the line. Is the Moby very shortly? Where is it there? Yeah, coming into turn 1 now. So we're on lap 24 of lap 25. Back with Scotty. Uber definitely with some breathing room. Over 3 seconds now in P4 with the console and Scotty very close to one another. Cockpit view. Look how much he closes up on the 911 coming through the banking into the bus stop. Tricky one. Alex struggled a little bit here. Look how good the Rain Man is onto the brakes in that section of track. Pushes wide though there. Can take a lot more curb on the exit. Alex with a good drive out, so it's kind of as you were at the minute. Quick look through the pack. Kembo coming up on the stadium section now. American driver from Pennsylvania having a much better feature race than the sprint. Traven now. Wow, what can I say? If he managed to hold on to this position, it would be an achievement in itself. And Uber managing to pull a gap on the boys behind. That's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, with over a lap and a half left to go. Can Uber hold on? Look how close Scotty's got onto the back of the console. The console's been struggling with the back end coming out of the corners. Too much power going into the back of those 911 wheels. Maybe the back tyres lighting up a little bit, and it looks like he pushed wide through there, but he does take sort of a double apex there and gets a good drive out of it. But Scotty not letting the console go at all. Of course, the console, our British driver from Norwich, doing a good job at the minute. He's been involved in the action all night. Uber still maintaining that P4 spot. We'll take it on board with the console, and the console looks like he's just going to have to defend from Scotty for the P5 position, which is going to be no easy task, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. But at the minute, it's kind of looking like Uber P4. We'll have a look quickly at the timings. The console with a 2-second penalty, so if Scotty could just stay within 2 seconds of him, he could have this one done. Amber Dew with a 2-second penalty, but it's not going to mean much. Smithy too far away, but still in a good spot at the minute. So the console needs to pull 2 seconds on Loxton's foot, Scotty, to be able to maintain P5. Of course, Uber's the usual suspect, but with no time penalty at the minute, it's going to be a cracker of the last lap. And it looks like now Demobi is starting the last lap. He's just through sector 1. Is indeed on a good lap at the minute. Back with the racing though. The console good through that section of track, and I think that's Smithy coming way off the line there. Good job, Smithy. British driver from Scunthorpe not getting involved in the action at all. A little further back, let's got to stay up to. He's off the racing line again, so just letting the leaders through. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen, for all the marbles. It does look like Demobi is coming up onto the pit stop. on the bus stop, sorry. There is racing going on, but we will stick with the boys here. Uber still maintaining P4. Good to see. Again, the console with a 2-second time penalty, so all Scotty has to do is try and keep it relatively close. We'll be fighting all the way through the infield section, but it does look like Demobi is about to come off the banking. It does indeed. So Demobi is going to bring it home for the 12th annual Thursday Night Light Series at Daytona International Race. Our winner of the feature race, Demobi. Welcome back, buddy, from the Perfect Cup. Hell of a job. Where is our home race of the night for our American driver from Pennsylvania? Kembo is going to give these American crowds something to cheer about. He's going to bring home P2. He's going to be happy with that. Fantastic driving for our GT4 lead coordinator there. Across the line, P2. And this is it. This is the real one here. Is Tavern going to pick up that P3 spot? I believe he is. Already on the end lap, so Tavern should be so happy with himself. He was being evaluated tonight. He couldn't have answered the critics with a better story than what he has. He brings home a podium spot. Ubar's going to keep hold of the... What's going on with the boys back here? It does look like the console and Alex fighting, but of course the console with a time penalty. Would have thought they were on the end lap. I think they are. I'm not too sure. We're going to have to go trackside if the console brings out the draft, but Ubar holding the inside. Does hold the inside, trackside now. Cause the console with a time penalty, so these boys, hang on, they're getting so close to one another, push each other out a little bit. There was contact there, definitely, but Uber brings it home in P4. Scotty, P5 after the time penalty with the console. Where's Ambatui in all this? Coming around the banking now. Someone going slow down there, I think that was the Grey Warrior, but fantastic driving, Uber, Scotty. The console does bring it home, and Baturi is going to bring it home in P7. Good evaluation race, good sprint, good to see him out on the track. Cross the line, P7, buddy, nice work. 29 seconds to go. Where's Tuggy? They're all going slow, so it looks like we've got confirmation of the grid spots tonight. Thank you so much for watching us on the YouTube channel. Leaving the comments, supporting the rig racing going on. While I've got the eyes and ears, come join the Discord channel. It's totally free, links in the description. Please leave us a like and sub to the channel on YouTube. It helps us massively promote the channel. It helps more eyes and ears watch us, follow us, going on the racing, more people joining. Appreciate every driver that has managed to come out tonight to join us in the GTE League. It's been absolutely fantastic having the GTEs run in the First Night Light Series. Fantastic. Demobi picking up our first place spot. Kembo in P2. Draven, they've been evaluated in P3. Ubar with no time penalty, P4. He deserved that one in the end. The Rain Man himself, P5. Alex, P6. Ambatui, P7. Tuggy Bear in the top 10. Grandesty in the top 10. Smithy rounding out the top 10 positions. I'd like to thank all the Rubbins Racing staff for the continued support, but more importantly, I'd like to thank all of the Rubbins Racing League drivers that have come and shown up night after night to support the racing. From all of us here at Rubbins Racing, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time out at the GT4 race. Peace.